She killed her son's best friend, but something very shocking happened. Once upon a time, in a very faraway land of Omoji, where good spirits had free will entrance into the human world, though not to be seen by human eyes, Edukar and Mwadiiji lived happily as best spirit friends. They usually enter Omoji farmlands to make crops yield better increase. And on one of such days, they entered the farm belonging to one very rich farmer, and heard the conversation between the farmer and his poor hunter friend. They had pity on the friends, who were discussing about their childless homes. The hunter lamented on how things were difficult for his family, since he is yet to succeed in his hunting for a very long time. The farmer helped his hunter friend with food stuff, before they parted ways. But Edukar and Mwadiiji thought of better ways to help out. They consulted another good spirit, who showed them a way out, though with consequences. They thought of the situation thoroughly, and agreed to take the risks. Not long after, both the farmer and the hunter's wives became pregnant, and in due time they both gave birth to boys. The farmer's child was Mwadiiji, while the hunter's child was Edukar. All seemed to be well, until about 5 years later, Mwadiiji lost his parents. On his dying bed, Mwadiiji's father gave all his savings to Edukar's father, and made him promise to care for their son as his own. From that day onward, wealth entered the hunter's home. With passage of time, Edukar's mother became cold towards Mwadiiji. She felt her husband was giving Mwadiiji too much attention than he gave their own son. She started making him do more chores. She gave him less food, and made him skip meals most of the time. When her husband was unavailable, she made sure to punish him for no reason. Mwadiiji became sad, but never complained, and this increased her resolve to send him out of their home. Edukar noticed the sadness in Mwadiiji's eyes, and sensing it was because of his mom, he warned his parents to be mindful of how they treat Mwadiiji. He noted that whatever happened to Mwadiiji will surely happen to him. His father took his words seriously, but his mother waved him off. On one occasion, the father came back from his business journey, bearing gifts. Edukar allowed Mwadiiji to pick a gift before him, and this act made his mother furious. An evil thought crept into her mind, and she craved for an opportunity to execute her plan. One day, the hunter requested that the boys should accompany him to the meat market, to supervise his workers. And as they prepared to go, his wife quickly thought of her plan, and decided to seize the opportunity. So, she specifically requested that Mwadiiji should stay back to help her out with preparation of food, and to also take the food to Edukar and his father at the market once they are done cooking, as she was not feeling too well to bring the food to the market for them. Their father told her that both boys could stay and help her, then join him at the market when they are done, but she refused. Feeling uneasy, Edukar asked if Mwadiiji could go with their father, while he stays back. But their mother refused. They agreed for Mwadiiji to stay back, although the two boys knew something was off. On a second thought, Edukar's mom quickly instructed Mwadiiji to go with them to the market, and bring back some meat for her to cook with. Immediately they left, she called some boys to dig a pit for her in front of the kitchen, which she covered with a very large mat. When Mwadiiji returned with the meat, she told him to help with washing the meat, which he must do in the kitchen. Mwadiiji felt uneasy but had to obey. So, as he walked through the kitchen entrance, he fell into the big hole and died. Apparently, she threw very sharp objects into the hole, and there was no way Mwadiiji would have survived the fall. After his death, Mwadiiji's spirit appeared at the market, but didn't stop at the shop. He made sure Edukar saw him, then he disappeared. Edukar didn't wait to notify his father. He ran as fast as a cheetah. And didn't stop for a breath till he got home. He shouted Mwadiiji's name severally. But got no response. Meanwhile, when Mwadiiji fell into the hole, Eduker's mom had covered the hole and smoothened the ground to normalcy so no one would suspect anything. So, even when Eduker walked into the kitchen, he didn't notice anything. He occasionally asked his mom about Mwadiiji. And she kept insisting that when they left for the market, she expected Mwadiiji to bring back some meat for her to cook with. But she is yet to see him. Exhausted from searching for his friend, Eduker broke into tears and sang their spirit song, while asking for Mwadiiji's whereabouts in the song. Once he was done, Mwadiiji's voice responded to the song, directing Eduker to where he was buried. Though no one else heard Mwadiiji's voice, they kept singing, as Eduker followed the sound of the voice till he got to the kitchen entrance, then he noticed the difference. He started digging, till something pierced his hands. He slowed down but continued, and there he was, soaked in his own blood mixed with sand. Then, as though taken into a trance, everything played before him. He saw the whole occurrence from when Mwadiiji went with them to the market, to when his mom got the boys who dug the hole. He also saw how Mwadiiji died. He climbed out of the pit with eyes filled with tears. He called his mom, and with the way he screamed her name, she came running, but before she could stop him, he took off and plunged into the hole with an unusual speed. Her world stood still as she watched her son bleed to death inside the hole. The same pit and weapons she prepared for Mwadiiji had also taken her son. She tried to scream for help, but the words did not come out. She stood still, her actions staring back at her. Meanwhile, Eduker's spirit found Mwadiiji's spirit roaming and they both appeared to their father in what looked like a trance. In a twinkle, they told him how they both chose to help their families from the beginning. They told him how they agreed to be raised by Eduker's family. They knew Mwadiiji's parents had little time to live but wanted to grant them their greatest heart desires, which was to hear the cry of a baby in their home. Apparently, Mwadiiji's mother was sick and had little time to live. From the spirit realm they knew her death will cause the death of Mwadiiji's father. But the mother wished to see and hold her own child before she died. Mwadiiji and Eduker had planned to grant them their wish. It was also planned that after their death, Eduker's parents will adopt Mwadiiji and they will both grow in one home. But the wickedness of Eduker's mother cut short their plan. Once his trance cleared off, Eduker's father took to his heels. He ran as fast as he could, though age was not friendly to his pace. By the time he got home, he was greeted by a huge crowd and as he made his way forward, he saw the bodies of both boys lying lifeless on the ground. He could not hold back his tears. He instructed for them to be buried and then he called on the elders and narrated everything the boys showed him in his trance. Eduker's mom was surprised and regretted her actions but it was too late. She was chased into the evil forest never to return to the village again. And that is the end of the story. To enjoy more stories from us, kindly comment, share, like and click the subscribe button.